Hello. So this is now the tutorial for the explanation tutorial for my cloth modeling video I made some months before. Yeah, I'm sorry for uploading this so late, but as you heard before, I just had some stuff to do and I didn't know this was so you wanted to get the workflow for this down so bad, but now here I am. So I have on the other screen the cloth modeling video, and I'm gonna let's now see. So yeah, let's say we want to build some piece of cloth for this big guy here, and as in the video, I'm gonna start with a polygon cube. And scale this up. Just some basic beginner tips. The Q key switches on your selection tool, so you can select stuff just but do nothing else, just select stuff. The W key is the move tool. When I have something selected, I can move it around. With E I can rotate, and with R I can scale very quickly. So this is just for switching quickly through all of this stuff. So now I'm gonna increase my divisions on this to 4 to be able to delete this face over here. Just those faces here, you get the point, where the arms will come out after, and here up in the head, those 4. So now I just hit the delete button. Okay, now we have basic shape done. Let's get this character selected and add this to a layer. Now it's templated, so you can see it down here. We want to select all of those faces down here. I used my another nice trick to grow the selection. I select some faces, and when I hit the shifts with the greater than, I can increase my selection, and with when I only hit that key again, which is the less than, it will shrink my selection. So if I press this, I can grow and shrink my selection as I want. So let's grow this to have the complete bottom side selected and delete it too. So now we have all of the holes where the character's gonna look at later. So now let's use this one, which is the Sculpt Geometry tool. I use this rather often because I like it how it cleans up the edge flow. And now with the smooth operation, let's flood this some maybe like this, just to get to smooth this a little bit more. Okay, so now let's get to the side view. Wait a bit, I'm gonna add this to my layer too. So now I cannot select anything on that part, and let's reshape this in the side view just to match the body in a better way. I don't, my recorder is kind of strange, so every time when I hit the, when I hold right click to get to my menu, I don't think you can see this, but when I hold right click on my model, you see I can select, or you don't see, I don't know, edge, vertex, face, multi, which is all of this stuff, and UV and object mode. So this is a quick way to switch between edges and vertices and faces and stuff. Another way would be to press the F buttons, F8 for component modes, F9 for you see vertex, and we have F10 edges, F11 face. So I'm gonna do this way. I find it more fast to this. Let's scale this down in X. Here too. And here too. Like this. Okay. I want to try something different. I want to try to make this kind of a blast plate. Like, I don't know what would be the best. If you ever played Diablo 2, those are nice breastplates there. Okay, so let's say this is done for this side view. And let's get to the front view and make this in the front view. I have, as you can see, I have my selection, my reflection turned on. This is the tool settings down here. In addition to that, I'm going to press the B key to get to my soft selection tool. It toggles by pressing the B, it's this one. Now holding the B pressed and left mouse button dragging to the sides, I can increase the soft selection radius. What the soft selection tool allows me to do is to select only a bunch of vertices and have all of the surrounding vertices being affected by my tool in a decreasing magnitude. So as you can see, I move this selected red ones with the full control, and the other ones just follow slightly to match. This is a nice way to get some soft modifications to this without using that soft modification tool. So let's determine where's front, this is front. Okay, this is looking good. Now let's get up to here. Gonna decrease this until there's no influence on this middle. Drag this up to this point and the back side too, just like this. And now we could go ahead and back to the side view and adjust this on the side with no soft selection. Now we can get this a little bit lower here and there. Rotate it around just to match the shape better. Now don't care about this or don't bother about this looking too blocky, too low poly. This is we're gonna smooth this later. It's just to get the main shape in. So what we could do now from this point, to see if I deselect this, we still have the sharp edges from the initial cube I created. So we can now select the model and go under normals and choose soften edge. Now the hard edges are gone and it's a smooth shaded mesh. So what we're gonna do now, let's hide this guy for now. I'm gonna get rid of this little vertex down here, because you see a normal vertex in a nice quad mesh polygon object should be having 4 edges going out of it. Anything that is lower or higher than this is not desired. There, of course, you cannot completely avoid this. You will always have some of those points, but in this case, since this is a mesh, well, in this case it doesn't need to be so exact, because this is one thing I would not simulate with end cloth, because it's since we want to do a breastplate, this doesn't need to be we won't simulate this with end cloth like we would do any other silk or other cloth style of object. So I want to get rid of this anyway. I'm going to select these 2 edges here, which make this one, and hit the edit mesh, delete edge / vertex. Now it's gone. And do the same with this edge. Or no, instead of doing this, just gonna go ahead and delete those. And now with the interactive split tool, I'm gonna redraw the topology. And we have another division here. We can get the more round shape over here. Okay. So let's look at this in smooth preview. No, it doesn't look too bad for now. Okay. So we want to do the same thing at the front here. So select those edges, delete those, select this one, delete it too, and then redraw the topology down here. Get this to match better. Okay. Now let's take those and let's place them back here. You see now I have restricted my move tool. The way you can do this, you probably you have also done this accidentally, is if you control click at one of those little arrows here which mark the axis in which you move the object in. If I for instance control click on my blue, which is the Z axis, you see I now have restricted this move tool to not move in the Z axis. So if I now grab it and move it, you see in my translate Z there's no change in attribute. It's always changing just in the Y and X. Let's undo this. Okay. You can also do this in the Y. Now it's moving only in the Y and in the X. And if you want to reset this, you just control click to the center. So now you see we move in any axis. Okay. Now we lost a lot of geometry up here. So let's get the insert edge loop tool and insert a double edge. Move this out to get a nice and round shape. And now let's already get the hard edge I want to have in this breastplate. So I'm gonna go to normals and say harden edge. So now if you know what, look at it, you see it has right here the edges are hardened, so that it looks more like a breastplate. Now I want to select these edges and move them up a little. I'm going to use this edge, this tool, which is the slide edge loop along their path. So if I click this, it says drag with middle mouse button to slide. I'm gonna do right this, and you see it now moves the edge along to match to the other edge. I'm gonna move it up like this. Select this lower one, press the Y key or the G key could also use to repeat this tool, and now move this up too. This I'm gonna also rotate a bit. Want to also rotate this one to get a better edge loop out of this. And now I'm gonna do the same for this. Rotate it a bit, move it up in the Y. Okay, like this. This doesn't look too bad now. Gonna pause the video a little and think about what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so let's first smooth this out a little bit more. Before I start smoothing, I want to add some more edges over here, some more over here. It goes all the way through, but I want this anyway. I want to have a little bit more resolution over here. Now I'm going to deselect all of this stuff, move those out in the Y and Z. This is those two and those two. Okay. So soften the normals, delete the history on selection. I'm also gonna freeze my transformations for now because I don't need those. Okay. Let's add another edge loop down here. Oh no, this is good. Sorry, it was the phone. I'm back now. I'm gonna repeat this also just to round this up a little. And now for this lower portion here, I want to use the Scott geometry tool with the relax operation, and now just go ahead and paint over all of this stuff. So we have a nice even mesh. This part is not looking good. Let's get into this from the inside, hit the soft select button and move this out. Here we go. Also down here. Okay. Now we have here also some interpenetration. Let's move this out a little. Like this. Here we can insert some more edge loops to round this up. One here, and on the other side here and here. Let's restrict this in the X and move it only like this. This like this. Okay. So now it looks better. I want to, I think I'm gonna select the whole edge loop down here by just double clicking it and move this down a little bit more. I want to have this breastplate to be a little bit longer. Scale it in the C a little, just a little. Okay, like this. So now insert 2 more edge loops for having this more smooth. Going with the Scott no, this wasn't right. Going with the Scott geometry tool, painting a little bit over here to smoothing this mesh out. And move those points out, restricting the Y like this. Okay. Now my hard edge is gone. I want to have this back. I'm gonna move this forward a little bit more to, let's increase the soft selection radius. Move this forward just a little, decrease it, move it more forward. And now harden this edge. So we have this breastplate now looking like this. Okay, I'm gonna add more edge loops. Oh, not 2, just 1. Just 1 edge loop. Good. Here and here. Here and here. To have this thing rounded out better. Now, oh, this is a little bug. You have to, it keeps the edge selected. It's not selected, it's not really selected, it's marked as it would be selected. So we go into edge mode, so drag over all of this stuff and shift drag over this to deselect everything. And now we have a clean mesh again. So I want to have this not being out like this. Move this in. That's better. Okay, so let's say we want to now. Instead, in the other video, I created some buttons for the little piece of cloth. I'm gonna do the same here, but in another way. It's just I wanna have some ornaments on this breastplate. So let's say we want to have, instead of buttons, I'm gonna just pick up this sphere, decrease the subdivisions to something like 8, and this is everything we need. Now let's turn on wireframe. We have the sphere still selected. We now hold the V key, which is vertex snap, and middle mouse button, click and drag above one of the vertices from the breastplate. Good. And you see our sphere snaps to that point. Now let's increase it in size. Rotate this to match a little bit more of the normal of this vertex. It's soft, it's normals. Okay. I think this is too low poly. I'm gonna increase the oh no. I have to stop now, my Maya is starting to crash. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back now, so stuff just started behaving strange, and I just restarted Maya for this. I'm gonna increase the division of this sphere to have it look smoother. And I want to decrease the size a little bit, just didn't too large. And now hit Ctrl D to duplicate this, and vertex snap it to the next point. Rotate this around a little, again to match the rotation, the normal of that vertex. Duplicate again, snap this over, rotate, duplicate, snap over, rotate. You see, this is pretty straightforward. Yeah. Rotate. Okay. Then duplicate, snap to this vertex. Duplicate, duplicate to this vertex. Now let's rotate them. Like this, and this one move up, just to get a better curve to this. We could move this one a little bit too, just like this. Okay, gonna select all of those. Let's continue back here. So duplicate, move this there, duplicate, move it there, duplicate, move it there. Rotate. Move it so that it makes a better curve. Okay. And now I'm going to select in the outline, I'm going to select all of those and move them with my move axis to set to object, move them in a little bit more. Okay, this looks better. Let's hide the orc layer, select all of our spheres and hit F8 to go to component modes and select faces. So what we want to do now is delete all of those faces down here. Let's select two of them being kind of on the other side, so we then can later go ahead and just with our tool, with our hotkey for increase the selection, and then having all faces deleted the way we need them to. Just this little one missing. Okay, now hit the key a couple of times, let's say to this point. So now I think there should be no, just a little bit, we're gonna repair this later, so select all of those and hit delete. So we have now hollow spheres. Now let's check some spheres. Move this in a little bit more. Can move this one out, not that much. Oh, we forgot to place one in the middle, so let's duplicate this and move it over. Move down like this. Okay, so now doesn't need to be perfectly matched. Okay, so now this is in place, and now what we want to do, select all of those little half spheres that are not in the center, so we want to discard the selector for this and this, group them together hitting Ctrl G, hit the Ctrl D to duplicate this group, and now scale in -1 in the X. This one missed the tweak, so now we have our breastplate looking like this. Now I want to select in the outliner all of my groups, going to hitting the down arrow to select, then let's just open the groups in our outliner, select all of the spheres in all places, and I want to go to mesh, combine, hit the delete the history and the selection. So now this is one single mesh, all the spheres. Okay, another thing, I'm gonna delete the history of the breastplate too. Another thing that I used in the other video, but I'm gonna use in this one a little bit differently, is the extrude tool along curve for a NURBS object. So we want to use this to surround the edges from this mesh with an object so that they don't look this thin. To do this, we want to create a curve that follows along with this border edge loop. Before we do this, let's make sure this is a rounder and smoother shape, like this. Then double click to select the edge loop, go to modify, convert, and then you need to look for polygon edges to curve. Let's look at the options. Let's say it's we want it to form at his best guess for Maya, and we want it to be linear. Linear degree means that it will only create a curve vertex for a control vertex for a polygon vertex, and the curve will be the exact same smooth level. It's not going to be round out. So let's hit convert. Now here we go. There's our curve. Let's delete the history on this to make a clean curve out of this. And now let's create a NURB circle. I'm gonna just grid snap it to the grid, and the circle is still selected. Control select the curve in the outliner, and in the surfaces menu, let's go to the extrude options. Now, to having the shape of the NURB circle be extruded at the curved path, you need to select the result position at path, the pivot at component, and the orientation at the profile normal, or the path direction. Let's test this. The style is going to be tube, to have everything look like a tube. And now our output geometry is going to be polygons, and we want to base this on the control points. So let's hit extrude. And here we go. This doesn't look too good. So it wasn't a good idea to have the orientation be at the path direction. Let's choose profile normal. And now hit extrude again. And this is what we want. Nice and clean polygon tube. Yeah, this looks cool. So now the only thing we need to do is merge those edges together. I'm going to match them in position a little bit better so that I can now select both of them and hit the edit mesh merge. Go to the input node for that merge and increase the tolerance to 1. Now this is merged, and this is a merged shape. So what we want to do now is repeat this step we did here for this outer part and this lower part. So let's select this and go first to modify, convert polygon edges to curve, delete the curve's history, grab the same NURB circle, shift select the new curve and hit in surfaces extrude. Now we need to get close to this, modify or move those edges down here to have them match a better position, so that when we now select them and run the merge command, they will merge correctly. Okay. Now soften normals for this. And now let's do the same down here for the bottom side. Select everything, or the whole edge loop, converts polygon edges to curve, delete the history, select the polygon circle, shift select the curve, surfaces, extrude. Here's our start and end point for this mesh. So just rotate the border edges, shift select the other one, hit edit mesh merge, increase the tolerance, and now here we are. Now the only thing we are left with is we need to grab this one, duplicate it, hitting Ctrl D and scaling it in the negative X direction. So this is where we're at now. If we now grab this stuff and smooth it, this is starting to look like a breastplate. I just don't know how this guy got into this, but anyway, I care about this now. Okay. Video is going to be a little bit long, so I think I'm gonna finish this at this point, and in the next video I'm gonna get to the UV layout section.